Welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and with the Resident Evil 4 remake being out and starring Leon Kennedy, I'd much rather be talking about him than Kathleen Kennedy. But, you know, that's where we're at, given the state of Star Wars, the state of Indiana Jones, and the state of Lucasfilm as a whole. Of course, there's always going to be more information about Kathleen Kennedy, and more importantly, when she is leaving. Well, it seems like we might be getting that somewhat soon, depending on your concept of time. Let's go over this article. Disney reportedly firing Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy if a Star Wars movie isn't in theaters by Christmas 2025. It looks like the only Christmas miracle that's going to save Kathleen Kennedy is a new Star Wars film. According to sources, Disney has allegedly hurled an ultimatum at the Lucasfilm president, demanding a new Star Wars movie for her in 2 years' time. What's more, the studio apparently wants a finished product with all the tedious process of production and filming wrapped up just in time for the movie to be out in cinemas by Christmas 2025. Now, this is a rumor. Obviously, all of this is a rumor. I've done previous videos, or at least a previous video, about a rumor stating that Kathleen Kennedy was already planning her exit after the most recent Indiana Jones film. Whether it be good or bad doesn't matter. She would be leaving then, and of course Disney would make a big deal of it. That was a rumor. That's still a rumor. This is obviously a rumor. That's the thing about Kathleen Kennedy. There's more rumors about her than conspiracy theories about John F. Kennedy. But I digress. The rumor further states that in case Kennedy isn't able to hand over a completed project by the given timeline, she'd be outstripped of her title as the president of Lucasfilm, and if said rumors hold any veracity whatsoever, then the producer's clock is ticking. Now, here's the reason I have trouble believing this. Disney has been losing money. We all know this. They've been losing money on Marvel. They've been losing money on Star Wars. They've been losing money on Disney+. Even the parks, if I remember right, are underperforming, although they might be the only thing that's still performing well as opposed to everything else. I can't remember. I'd have to reread on it. Either way, Disney is absolutely hemorrhaging money right now. I would imagine that Bob Iger and those at the tip top are money men, are good enough money men to realize putting this 2-year ultimatum on her doesn't make sense. I'm no fan of Kathleen Kennedy. Can't stand the woman. Think she needs to get out of Star Wars. But I will say this in her defense. If they are telling her you need to have a Star Wars movie in theaters by Christmas 2025, they are effectively sealing her own fate for her, because you can't put a timeline like that on a film and expect it to be quality. That is what makes it the corporate, just assembly line product that we've all been thinking Star Wars is lately. And by putting this timetable on it, you're not going to have a writer and director and producer and people who truly care about the IP and about the product. They'll just be thinking about deadlines and writing whatever story they can that can be filmed quickly, that can be edited quickly. It's going to be a real problem when people are already complaining about the quality of Star Wars, not the quantity. No one has been complaining about the quantity of Star Wars except the people like me who have been complaining that there's been too much with the Disney Plus shows. But the issue has been with the quality. So if you put a 2-year time limit on this and then tell her, hey, get this movie done or else, and then after that 2 years where the product isn't a quality product, fans still aren't going to go see it. It's still not going to be well received. So what? She gets to keep her job even though a bad movie comes out? I'm a bit confused as to what this whole process entails, which is why I'm skeptical of this rumor. I would think the money men up top would know 2 years for something like this just isn't enough time. Kathleen Kennedy's position as Lucasfilm's president might be in jeopardy. Kathleen Kennedy has served as the president of Lucasfilm for over a decade now. She first took over the company's reins back in 2012 with a vision of reviving the Star Wars franchise. She says that like the Star Wars franchise was dead. You don't revive a franchise that's still alive and of course still selling. Like, yeah, it didn't have movies, but it was still selling toys and video games. There was no revival. A revival would be like if they decided to do a new Crocodile Dundee. That would be a revival. A goal that she ultimately achieved with grand success. No, she did not. But here's where we're going to get to the part of the article that proves Kathleen Kennedy is actually a dude in disguise, because this article sucks her off. After all, George Lucas had himself chosen her for the job, and he put his faith in the wrong individual. He has stated as such multiple times. He has absolutely regretted the decision of making Kathleen Kennedy in charge. Kathleen Kennedy bold-faced lied to George Lucas on camera, stating they would respect him and his work. But I'm not here to get into all that. The point is, you're giving a lot of praise for a woman that has shown in video recordings to fans multiple times over that she is not the good guy. Sure, the Star Wars universe has had its fair share of highs and lows throughout Kennedy's lengthy tenure. Give me one high. Give me a high. If you say Rogue One, that's fair. It's a good movie. That's still like a 6 out of 10. That's not a high, that's a mid. But it doesn't change the fact that the award-winning producer practically salvaged what is perhaps one of the most influential pop culture phenomenon today. She didn't salvage it. There was nothing that needed salvage. The video games were killing it. There were still books. There were still toys. The Clone Wars TV show is one of the most acclaimed pieces of Star Wars fiction, and that was pre-Disney all the way up until the last season. She didn't salvage anything. It seems that Disney is planning on rewarding her unflinching loyalty and devotion with a shocking threat to her job instead. Her devotion was not to Star Wars, it was not to fans, and it was definitely not to Lucasfilm. Her devotion was to pushing identity politics and agenda-driven works in a galaxy far, far away. Guys, remember, the Force is female. That's what Kathleen Kennedy's unflinching loyalty was towards. It was towards an ideology, not towards a fandom. Industry insider Jeff Snyder recently revealed that certain trusted sources had told him how the E.T., the extraterrestrials producer's job is on the line with Disney breathing down her neck to deliver a new Star Wars film by 2025. And they're probably down her neck breathing for this film because Disney Plus isn't making money. Because Bob Chapek had the books fixed to make it look like it was, and then in that scandal, if you remember, this dropped in about November, December of last year, it was a massive scandal that we find out, oh no, Disney Plus is actually losing a lot of money, and they were paying someone to make it look, to fix the books and make it look like that wasn't the case. So now that they know, now that Bob Iger's back and knows Disney Plus isn't making money, look at all the money we've spent on these Star Wars shows that no one is watching. He probably thinks that Andor is execu speak for saying and/or. Like, Bob Iger looks at this stuff, he says, this isn't making money. Put a movie in theaters, that'll make money. If not, you're fired. Which is semi-commendable. I'm happy for him wanting to put, making money in the forefront. But if he's not going to let go of all the identity politics stuff, if he's not going to force Kathleen Kennedy to get rid of the identity politics stuff, and also he's giving her a very unreasonable timeline, which will lead to a lower quality film than we're even used to and expecting at this point from Disney Star Wars. Yeah, she's caught between a rock and a hard place, but I also don't really feel sorry for her because you get what you deserve, assuming this is all true. Kennedy's reported predicament is followed by yet another rumor about the upheavals currently taking place at Disney, according to which the billion-dollar studio is also hatching a plan to wrap up the Indiana Jones franchise so that it can fully focus on Star Wars instead. Well, yeah, Harrison Ford's like 80 years old. They're going to have to wrap that franchise up, unlike Star Wars where you can keep recasting people because it's fiction. Well, I mean, Indiana Jones is fiction too, but you know what I mean. It's a lot more realistic to just keep things going with new casts than have a recast for Indiana Jones or a 90-year-old Harrison playing him with a CG face. In which case, it would make sense why the 69-year-old Lucasfilm president is being pressurized? Pressurized? Just pressured would work. Anyway, to introduce fresh new content involving the space opera franchise, but it still seems a bit of a stretch to put her job at stake for that. No, it doesn't. She should have been fired for multiple other missteps many times prior. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, anyone? The thing that Disney said was $6,000 a night that has lost them countless dollars that they have had to reduce the price on, where Kathleen Kennedy has a self-insert character. Trust me, Kathleen Kennedy should have been fired a long time ago. I think that maybe, just maybe, they gave her such an incredibly small deadline so that she can't deliver and they have to fire her. That would be great if they give her this glimmer of hope when really, they set her up to fail. But again, probably this is also just a rumor, so who's to say? A horde of new Star Wars projects are rumored to be in the works. With Disney apparently investing all of its time, effort, and money into the galactic universe of Star Wars, it would naturally need new sizzling content to back up said plans. So it wouldn't be too astonishing for fans to wake up one day and find out that the 3 new Star Wars films are in the merry way to the big screens. And yeah, you know what? Fans have been told about all these new Star Wars films the last 5 years, and they keep getting shelved and they keep getting canceled because nobody wants them. Taika Waititi's film, supposedly still going. Rian Johnson trilogy, gone. Patty Jenkins, her Rogue Squadron movie, gone. The unnamed trilogy from the guys that did Game of Thrones, gone. I'm glad all these are gone. Don't think this is me complaining. I'm happy they're gone. I'm just saying, if we want to wake up and hear about 3 new Star Wars films on their merry way to the big screen, yeah, first they have to actually write good quality products and then stop canceling them. Neither of which are happening. They're not giving us good quality projects and they're canceling them, so at least they're canceling this crap. From what he knows, 3 new movies are indeed going to be announced this very year during the annual Star Wars celebration, a massive fan gathering celebrating the renowned franchise that is more than 4 decades old. However, none of these rumors have been verified yet, so it's best to take them with a pinch of salt. Even so, may the Force be... No, I'm not finishing that sentence. No. The Force may not be with Kennedy, unless it's a forced choke and she is strangled. So yeah, that's where we're at on Star Wars. Obviously, this is a rumor, like it said, and I, for one, don't think it's true. It seems, multiple things seem wrong, and it seems too good to be true. I prefer the rumor that I came across several months ago on the channel about Kathleen Kennedy leaving after Indiana Jones. That is the much preferred rumor because it means she's gone quicker. But if this one is true, I mean, great. She'd be leaving if there's no Star Wars movie in theaters by 2025. But I also bet she'd be willing to do anything to get a Star Wars movie in theaters, quality be damned, and only further damage the brand more. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below, or let me know on Twitter where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. We just passed over 650 subscribers. That is incredible. I can't wait to get that number even higher, and I can't thank you enough. I am a nerdy news channel. I do nerdy news every day, so whether it be Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, Disney, you name it, it's all here in the nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.